So we're going to be recording this section as usual. So we're going to get started. We want to do analysis. The reason I want to do analysis on gold right now is because we had a lot of discussion about gold today in the group. And then I see it as an opportunity to still, talk and shed more light concerning market structure. Now, this is what I'm going to be doing in tonight's Zoom meeting. Tonight's Zoom meeting, I'm going to be talking a lot about, of course, we're still on advanced market structure and we're going to be doing real analysis on advanced market structure to see the whole thing, because I really want us to get this whole thing. See, the first market will give you a lot of noise, but then if you can just see and spot what is important, there are a lot of shit happening here. But then if you can just see and spot what is important and what you are looking for, looking out for, you are going to really take a lot of you're really going to um you're really going to, filter out a lot of bullshit the market wants to throw at you. Because if you do that, now let's get started. Let's say this is a clean chart, right, on gold. And I want to do analysis on here. I want to, trade. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I like to do my analysis from the higher time frame. All right. Here we have on the Deriv platform. I do not have the weekly time frame, so I am forced to start with the daily time frame. But me, I literally like to use a much more higher time frame to see like an overview of what I'm actually expecting. Again, we say we want to go into the market to see where the market is going, and know what we're expecting before we now go down to the lower time frame to now look for entry, look for buyers and all that. So then I'm going to go to the weekly time frame like this. And today I'm going to be giving room for questions. So just prepare a question. Now, as you can see, this is a weekly time frame. As you can see from the weekly time frame, this is clearly an uptrend, right? This is clearly an uptrend. Now, if I'm to do this, I still feel the on gold, we are still going to see a very long downtrend, right? Because this is what I'm actually seeing here. Of course, I'm still going to wait it out and see what the market is going to give us. But then if I'm to do a general network. My network went off there a bit. So I'm going to share my screen again. All right. So can you guys see my screen now? Can you see my screen now, please? Okay. So let's get started. So like I said, I like to so we go down to the higher time frame. You can start with the weekly, you can start with the daily, depending on which one you're comfortable with. It's still going to tell you the same thing. But I like to start with the weekly, right? If I'm trading currency pair, right? To just see a general overview of what's going to happen, what's happening. But then, as you can see here, what I can even really tell here before we zoom in, of course, I'm going to zoom out to see what's really, really going to happen. But then what I can see here is, as I can see this, not that this is very, very important. I can see we have this higher high is an uptrend, higher low, and then we have this higher high. And then we know that the market is going to give us what a higher low like this before continuing to the upside. But then when we get to what's it called? Order block and all those things, we are going to be talking more about that and like where the market could potentially come back to, right? There are a lot of order blocks right here. We are still going to be getting to the topic. Let me just try and note some of the visible order block and important order block that are right here. Now, the one that I'm looking at, as you can see, there is this right here. These are the most important order blocks that I have right here. This one here. And then this is another one. These other blocks are the ones that actually broke structure, right? Now, let me even see the one that actually broke this structure. Let's see. Again, don't get yourself worked up with this. Of course, we are still going to be talking in depth about order block. All right. So the one that actually broke structure, this is the one I'm really, really interested in. This one here. There's another block right here. Because of course, we are still going to be talking, there's a real fair value gap here. So there's another block here that I'm really considering. So I think at some point, hold on, let me show you guys something. We are still going to talk about this topic. So this one is topic for another day. But then at some point, I think this is what is going to happen in this market, right? This is what's going to happen in this market. We are going to have what? Our higher high, higher low. We have this sweet higher high, and then I think something like this is going to happen before we have like a continuation like this, right? Before we have a continuation like this. So what am I looking for here at this top? Right, of course, we are still talking about we're still talking about market structure, just like what I explained yesterday. What am I looking for at this top here? What am I looking for at this top here? I'm looking for what? A change of character on the smaller time frame, probably on the 4 hours time frame. Like I said, once I'm doing my analysis, if I'm starting on the weekly time frame, I'm not just going to jump into the daily. I'm just going to go right into the 4 hours. So I'm going to see a clearer version. So if we see a change of character on the 4 hours time frame, we know that this market wants to start, giving us this downtrend. And of course, why? See, a lot of people will make a mistake, and when, of course, you're going to notice that there's some other block around this level here. When we get to other block, you're going to really understand properly. They're not, as you can see, there are not even other block around here. I think there's a small one here. Some people will think that all these other blocks that are here are valid. The reason they are not valid, all right, other block has rules, right? The reason I will not consider any of this other block here is because they did not break this structure, right? We were looking for an other block that broke structure. And then one of the rules of other block is it has to break a major structure. Of course, I'm looking at this on the weekly time frame. It has to break a weekly structure, and this is the one that broke the weekly structure. This one also broke the structure, and again, this one is an extreme order block. Of course, we are looking at the extreme order block. The most valid order block is the extreme order block, and this one is the most extreme. Why am I not considering this one? Why am I considering this one? Because aside from the fact that this one is the extreme order block, it is this one that actually broke this structure. So this one is a valid order block. It's a very strong order block. So back to this. Before we, of course, I'm still going to go down to what is really happening. We are still going to do analysis. I'm just still using this opportunity to explain uh our market structure, advanced market structure properly. So what am I expecting, right, on the higher time frame? I'm expecting to see on the lower time frame. I'm expecting to see what? A change of character here. I'm expecting to see a change of character probably on the 4 hours or on the 1 hour time frame. So let's see how that is happening, and then we're going to be able to progress into what is currently happening here. Of course, I'm still going to leave this one like this, and then we're going to go down to like the 4 hour time frame to see what is happening, right? So we are now on the 4 hour time frame here. But then let's go to the 1 hour time frame first. I mean daily time frame, sorry. Let's see what is happening. Of course, we have seen the general overview of what is happening on gold, right? But this is not what we're actually concerned about, right? This is just something that's going to happen in later in the future. We're concerned about what is really happening right now because, of course, we want to trade right now. So what is happening right now? As you can see, it is still a clear uptrend. It is still a clear uptrend. And if I'm going to draw my path for this, guys, this is a skill. You need to know how to draw your path. It's something I'm going to talk about probably next tomorrow, because knowing how to draw your path is very important. Because guys, look at this. A lot of people will make a mistake and think to draw this, we have to do this like this: higher high, higher low, higher high. I think this is a change of character like this. And then a lot of people will confuse this like this. This is not how to draw your path. This is not how to draw your path. You don't have to necessarily follow every single thing, right? You do not necessarily have to follow every single thing. That is not how to draw your path. I'm going to show how to draw your path properly, right? I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw your path properly. That's a topic for another day, right? This is not how to draw your path. Not every pullback is valid, and that's one thing you should understand. So this is rubbish here, as you can see. This is not how to draw it. But again, it's a topic for another day. I'm going to be showing you how to properly draw your path, because that is very, very important. How to draw your path is very, very important. All right. So if I'm to draw my path here, let's say I'm starting from here. I have what? My higher high like this, higher low like this, and then I have my higher high. I can even call this my higher high, right? I can call this, I'm going to tell you why all these are valid pullbacks: higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now, this is how to draw your path. This is how to draw your path, right? As you can see, here we have, let me bring this thing out. This is how it looks like. As you can see, like I used to say, it doesn't have to be diagram perfect like I used to explain. It's not diagram perfect, but it's the same concept. But if you know how to draw your path, all this is going to be way easy, right? So here we have our brick of structure right here. We have our brick of structure right here. We have our brick of structure right here, as you can see. As you can see, that's our brick of structures right there. All right. So let's continue here. So what am I interested in, guys? Guys, what am I interested in? Again, I like to map out my point of interest. Guys, you have to make this as simple as possible for yourself. You have to make this as simple as possible for yourself. And then how do you mark out your point of interest? Look at this as I draw before, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And then we're expecting to see a higher low. So where is my point of interest? The recent highest points. You should always know this. This is going to give you clarity, guys. This is going to give you clarity. Reset highest point. It doesn't have to be complicated. I don't know how others trade, but this is how I trade. And it has been working really perfectly for me. I like to make my chart as clear as possible. I want to see, I cannot just enter the market and see so many shit and I'm considering everything. No, I want to be clear on what I'm seeing. The recent highest point and the recent lowest point. Of course, knowing how to draw your path is also important. So everything, like I said before, happening in here is internal structure, guys. It is internal structure. Internal structure. Now, when we get to other block, you are going to understand that this market can really still go down because we still have other block, a valid order block here that the market, we think the market is still going to get to. So the market really can still get to this level. But what am I doing? What am I doing, guys? In cases like this, guys, you do not have to force the market if it's not doing exactly what you want it to do. So what I'm expecting, what I think is going to happen here, everything here is ranging. The market is currently ranging here, and I'm not going to be trading in this kind of as you can see, we have lower low like this, lower high, lower low. We have this, we can consider this one move. This is a lower high like this because it did not really break this structure here. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then we're expecting what to see a lower low that is going to come into this. Now let's even explain that one very well. Let's explain that part very well. Hold on. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something really important. Let me get this off so I will explain it properly. All right. So we have lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So here I'm going to look at my point of interest, the highest point. Oh, this one actually broke this structure. As you can see, that's why you need to mark out your point of interest. All right. As you can see, it actually broke. Let me see if it actually broke. Let me see this very well. Okay, I won't really consider this a break like that. I won't really consider this a break because it has to be a real candle closure. So I won't consider this a break. I won't consider this a break of this structure. So look at this. From here, so I'm then going to do this. From here, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. I'm going to consider this lower high. And then I'm expecting what a lower low that's going to enter this. But then currently, everything happening in here is internal structure, right? Internal structure. Because now we have this. So we have this low, high. So we're expecting what? This to give us this, right? We're expecting this to come here before we have a continuation to the upside here like this. So how am I going to trade this? How am I going to trade this? Now let's see. Let's go down into the time frame and see how if this is tradable. Normally I would avoid these kinds of markets, but then let's see if it's tradable. Again, I'm not trading currency pair at the moment, so that's why I'm not really into this whole thing. Right, so how would we trade this? How would we trade this? So we are seeing this on the daily time frame. So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame. This is what we call top-down analysis, guys. Top-down analysis. As you can see, we are going to be seeing things more clearly, right? We're going to be seeing things more clearly and see if anything here is tradable. All right. So let's see. Okay. All right. So let's see what is happening here. So going back to the daily time frame, I really want to see my bias here on the daily time frame first. So here we see something like this happening. Like I said before, we have our lower low, lower high, lower low, consider this a lower high. Or if we are considering this a change of character, it means this one start going up. But I'm not considering this a change of character just yet. We have this. We have so this is so I can consider this is trend on its own. Just watch. I can consider this like this. From here, I have a higher high. It still has not broken this, right? So this market is just not a perfect market structure. So this is not something I'm going to really consider trading. I'm either going to wait for this to break this level or come back to break this level. So I'm not going to be trading on, guys, anyone trading on gold right now, you're probably just gambling, right? Trust me. All right. Again, I don't trade currency pair, so I'm not really following this. So if you're trading gold right now, you're probably gambling. So let's even see if there's a way I can actually trade this. Let me see if there's a way I can actually trade this. As you can see, right here, it's not really following a proper market structure. But then if I'm to look at this leg, that we have a change of character here. So we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We have this high, we have this low, and then we have this change of character here, right? So this one is one leg like this, right? One leg. So what are we expecting here for this phase, right? For this phase, what I'm expecting for this phase is for this market to come back down at least before going up, right? But then we can see another change of character here. So this market is not really doing a lot of talking, all right? It's not doing a lot of real talking. But then if I'm to trade this leg, I'm probably going to wait for, again, once we get to order block, we have a valid order block right here. So again, I can look for opportunity to sell because this fair value gap here, this imbalance here is going to drag this market right down at least to this level. It's going to drag this to this level or it's going to just break this level, right? It's just two things. It's either going to drag, one thing I'm sure is the market is going to calm down. It's going to calm down, right? It's going to come down to at least this level, all right? It's either going to bounce off this level or break off this level. Now, how do we know when the market has start coming down to this level? And that is change of character on the smaller time frame. So I'm going to just go down to the 1 hour time frame. We're looking for a change of character here in this phase. Just watch this. So look at this. We have from here, I have what? This higher high, higher low. We have a higher high. We have a higher low. We have what? A higher high. So we are waiting for a change of character here. So what is going to give us a change of character? Again, I'm going to mark out my point of interest, the recent lowest point, and then the recent highest point, right? So a change of character would be this breaking through here. It breaks through here, gives me a pullback to this level, and then it's going to give me a continuation, which is still which is still the same thing as you can see. So again, we are going to be looking at order block because as you can see, we have an order block here too. So you need to be able to understand all this thing properly. We have an order block right here. So if this market, so what I'm probably expecting to see here is this to just mitigate this my order block and then come back down like this. So this is what I'm probably expecting to see here in this market. So let's still go down into the smaller time frame. Let me get this order block away. So let's go down to the smaller time frame. Of course, we are waiting. We're expecting this market to come down to this our order block right here. So we're expecting a change of character here. So let's even go down into the smaller time frame to see what is going to happen. If we can actually see a trade to take here. So this is the 15-minute time frame right here. As you can see, on the 15-minute time frame, let me get this part off. How many point of interest do we have? That's a very nice question. Now you need to have point of interest for each time frame, right? Each time frame shows you a different. See, this is what I'm going to do. Let me finish this, and I'm going to go back to like the daily time frame. I'm going to do the analysis again right now. So you're going to note. I'm going to note out my point of interest for each of this whole thing, right? So look at this. On the 15-minute time frame, we have this on the 15-minute time frame. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So look at this. We are still even expecting a break of structure on the 15-minute time frame. We have not yet seen it, right? So once we see a change, change of character here. Once we see a change of character here, like this is going to confirm that it wants to start going down. So that's what we're expecting to see here on gold. So let me do analysis again from the beginning so we can really understand, right? Let me just get all this thing off. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Now we're going back to the, just watch this. We're going back to the weekly time frame. All right. On the weekly time frame, I'm seeing this here as my, right, higher high, higher low, higher high, like this, right? So where is my point of interest, right? My order block here. This here is my point of interest. I like to put out my point of interest for each of these time frame, right? So this is for weekly time frame, all right? I've seen what I want to see on the weekly time frame. Now let's go down here. Let's go down here to see what is really happening here. We can even do this properly on the weekly time frame. Like this, let me show you. Draw this part here. We have from here, we have our higher high, like this, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then we currently have this high here, all right? Currently have this high here. This is it on the weekly time frame, all right? On the weekly time frame. But it's not really important on the weekly time frame like this because of course we are going down into the smaller time frame. What we just really need to see on the weekly time frame is this. Don't get things confused. Again, I like to keep my charts simple and clean. So let's go down to the daily time frame. Again, I usually skip one time frame. But because of this whole thing, I'm going to not skip this. So here on the daily time frame, as you can see, we are seeing things much more clearly here now. So I'm going to start from here. We have our higher high, higher low. We have this higher high, higher low. We have this higher high, higher low, and then we have this new high. Now, once you are able to draw your path like this, guys, once you are able to draw your path like this, wherever, see, I have my new high here like this, right? What I'm just going to do is, once I have my new high, I'm going to mark up my new high as my point of interest like this, and then the recent low like this. The path helped me to do that, right? So inside here is my point of interest. So I'm going to get this off. So I'm bringing down my point of interest to focus, right? I'm bringing down my point of interest to focus. Here is my point of interest, as you can see. All right. So I'm going to go down to the 4-hour time frame. All right. So now we're on the 4-hour time frame right here. Right. We're on the 4-hour time frame. I already know what my point of interest is. Now, what I want to do here on my 4-hour time frame is I can even do that on the daily time frame, even to see what my order block, right? We are still going to be getting to the order block teaching. Is a very important topic. Now, what order block means is normally, guys, like I said before, market structure is what we are just wanting to see is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. All this one we are seeing here is noise, right? So what I'm expecting to see here, let's say after this one, higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm expecting to see what a higher low and then a higher high. Everything happening here is internal structure is noise, right? So I'm just expecting to see a break of structure to give me a new high, right? For this to keep being an uptrend, or to see something like this, just give me something higher high, higher low, higher high, or a change of character like this to show that the market has now changed from an uptrend to a downtrend. It's as simple as that. It is not complicated at all. But I'm seeing a breakout block. Again, I don't want to go too fast or too far. We're still going to be talking about all that. Just chill. I'm trying to use most of market structure here. And I'm just trying to use the concept of order block because order block is very important. So we have this order block right here. All right. So what this order block is trying to tell us is, it's trying to tell us that if this market is going to keep going up, right? If it's going to keep going up, it is at least going to come into this level, right? Before going up. And the reason for that is there is imbalance here. We're still going to be talking about imbalance and fair value gap. There's a fair value gap right there, right? There's a fair value gap right there. So we're expecting, there's a fair value gap here. So we're expecting the market to at least come into this level before going up, right? So let's continue. So I've seen that on the daily time frame. So let's go down to the 4 hours. Now we're now on the 4 hours time frame. We can even refine our order block for the 4 hours, right? We can actually refine it for perfect entry like this, for perfect entry, right? So now that's that on the 4 hours. So let's see what is really now happening on the 4 hours, right? Let's see what is happening on the 4 hours, right? So if I to do that, I'm just going to do something like this, as you can see, and draw out my. So from here we have what? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Hold on. So we have higher high like this, right? And then we have a change of character, right? We have a change. We had a change of character. Oh, sorry. Hold on, let me redraw this. Just watch this. So right from here, on the 4 hours, guys, on the 4 hours, yeah, this video is going to be posted on YouTube. So on the 4 hours, we have this. Hold on. We have this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Remember, I'm using market structure concept. Higher high, we had what? We had what? Our change of character here, like this, right? And change of character means that it wants to change to a downtrend, right? So lower low, lower high. This is not the lower low because it did not break this structure. So this is our lower low here. Then we have a change of character again, like this. A change of character again, like this. And then we had another change of character, like this. As you can see, another change of character, like this. Sorry. We had another change of character like this. And then we have this lower low, lower high. Then we have not had a lower low since then, as you can see. Sorry. We have not had a lower low since then. So everything here is internal structure for this. As you can see, I can put in this. Okay, this one, I'm not, like I said before, I'm not considering this a real break, right? I'm not considering this a real break. This would have been a change of character, but I'm not considering this a change of character. So this is our point of interest in the 4-hour time frame. This is our point of interest in the 4-hour time frame, as you can see. So all this is just going about in the 4-hour time frame. So we're either looking for a clear breakthrough here, which is going to give us a continuation that the market wants to keep going up, right? Right? It would be like a change of character for this one, right? It would be a change of character for here. And then if it breaks this one, which is much more likely because we still have what? We still have what? Another block here. So I still think the market is going to sell. It's going to come and break this. So then let's go down into the time frame to see what's going to really even happen. All right. So as you can see, this is on the 1-hour time frame. So let's see what happens here on the 1-hour time frame. What's happening here currently? So this here alone, this imbalance here alone is telling me that this market is going to come down. This one here, right? This fair value gap here is telling me that the market is going to come down, right? All right. So here, let me not go too far back. We have this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We have this low. We have a change of character like this. We have a change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We have this higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Then we are beginning to have this higher low here. But then I think there's going to be a change of character soon. But maybe it's still going to go up a bit, and then we're going to have a change of character, and then we're going to have this, and then it's going to come down like this. So that's what I'm expecting to see on good. So I'm expecting to even sell. I'll be looking for selling opportunities. So what am I looking for? A change of character. So how do I find out my change of character? I can even go down to, but currently here, this market is going up. It's an uptrending market. But again, I'm looking for a change of character because as you can see here, it has given us this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And we're expecting to see what the higher high. But I'm at some point expecting a change of character here. I'm expecting a change of character there. But currently the market is, in an uptrend. So if I'm to even enter this market, right? If I'm to trade or enter this market, right? My what's it called? My take profit. This is how I'm going to enter, right? I'm going to have my, hold on. My entries, let me even, let's find out my entry, what my entry will be, right? Let's find out what my entry will be. So let's see what is happening let's go down to like the 5 minutes here. See what is happening here. See what happens here. So here on the 5 minutes, I'm looking for entry. On the 5 minutes, we see this is a downtrend, lower low, lower high. We have this low here. So this is not really a lower low. So let's just consider this. Now, this is our change of character. It has happened here. Our change of character has happened here. Then we've had this pullback. So this is a perfect entry. This is a perfect time to enter, guys. This would be a perfect time to enter this market long, right? To buy this, right? To buy this market to the upside, right? And then this is going to be, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to enter here because it's already giving us this push. Enter here. My take profit is going to be here. And then my stop loss, I'm going to either here, my stop loss is going to be here, but then this is going to be the perfect stop loss because if you are putting it right here, is not a good risk to reward, but then this is a perfect stop loss. All right. This is how we enter this market. All right. This is how we enter this market. This is how we enter this market. So I'm going to give room for question now. I'm going to allow. I'm going to take few questions. I'm going to take, again, we are going to be doing this once in a while. We are going to be, we are going to be doing analysis like this, and talking more about all these things. So I'm going to leave this like this, see how this whole thing plays out. We're going to see how this plays out. We're going to see how this plays out. We're going to see how this plays out. Let's see if we are going to actually make money from here. It's going to hit our stop loss. So let's see. Let's see. Again, I don't trade currency pair. I trade volatility index. This is just me doing analysis on this one. So any question? Do we have any question? Okay, my stop loss is supposed to be just below this other block. I can still maybe drag my take profit a bit here. It's still inside of this. All right, this will be the perfect way out enter this trade. All right. Any question? Any question? All right, this is what I'm going to do. Let me take a picture of this. Of course, we're still going to see how this plays out. We definitely, I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. So I'm going to take a picture of this and post in the group, and however this plays out, we're going to then know. All right, so let me take a picture here and post in the group right now on gold. All right. So probably later in the evening or in the night, we're going to post the result of this. Let's see how this actually plays out. All right. So having said all this, having do all this, it has been an interesting section. Um, it has been an interesting section. And again, we have more people joining us in the VIP group. I think we are almost complete. So, like I said, I've increased to 15 people. So if you're interested in joining the VIP, you're not in the VIP group yet, you are missing out on a lot because we're about to get started, real thing. We're about to start making real money. All right. We're about to start making real money. So we are going to see how this one plays out. Hopefully, we have, as you can see, we're already moving into profit gradually. That's interesting. Uh, I'm even thinking, guys. I'm even thinking this is going to be something for those in the VIP anyway. I'm already thinking of starting. Maybe we try out the prompt firm challenge. It's going to be definitely after our ongoing program or challenge. We're going to actually try out a prom firm challenge. We're going to try, fund a prom firm, and then we're going to, trade together and we're going to see what we can do. We're going to try pass the challenge, and then we're going to, try to do something amazing, right? I'm thinking lately of going into, of course, as you can see, we're already moving in profit. I'm thinking lately of going back into currency pair, and then trying to, if I'm going into currency pair, I'm definitely doing prom firm, and then we're trying to make something. um there's a news coming in 1 minute, right? Of course, this is still market structure. Let's see how the whole thing happens. Let's see if my market structure is going to go in line with the news, and then we see how this whole thing works. This gold is highly volatile, so whatever it is, you have to make sure your analysis is perfect. I would have entered this trade and I would have been in profit. This would have been my entry, and I would have been moving in profit right now. So let's see how the whole thing plays out. So if you're not yet in the VIP, send me a DM right now so to reserve your spot, and then you be in the VIP group, right? So that is that on that, guys. We are moving in profit already on this one. It's a perfect sniper entry, as you can see, because of our market structure analysis. This is market structure analysis, and we were able to get these perfect entries. Look at this. This is a perfect entry for market structure. This is perfect entry for market structure. Look at this. We're already moving in profit. So let's see how the whole thing plays out. We're going to see how the whole thing plays out, and then we would we would see how the whole thing plays out. So I'm going to be stopping the whole section here. It's going to be posted on YouTube. If you're really interested in watching again, you can watch on YouTube and see how the whole analysis plays out. So thank you guys for joining this section. I'm going to be going live on YouTube, on what's it called, on TikTok later tonight, and then later in the night, I'm going to also go live on Zoom again like this. So we'll continue our training. So that's it, guys. Take care.